Hi, Stacy here with Bluebird Paper and Thread. Thank you for joining me today. Today is Saturday, January 18th. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My channel is on my hobbies right now, mostly consisting of cross stitching, but I also enjoy a little bit of sewing, maybe one day some quilting. I like to paper craft, and what I make are greeting cards, excuse me, gift tags, gift card holders, and like treat boxes, treat bags, that kind of a thing. If you like what you see today, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We are growing the channel, and the goal this year is to get to 3,000 subscribers. So I'd love to have you on board and part of the family. If you're returning, welcome back. Welcome to my new subscribers. I really do appreciate you. It tickles me every time I see that little subscriber count go up, because it just tells me that I'm with the right kind of people. So thank you for that. Okay, let me give you a little bit of an update. If you're new here, I live in Southern California. And you probably know we've been having horrendous wildfires. So far, I think people are starting to go back to their homes if they have a home, and now they're trying to figure out the next steps. How long is it going to take to rebuild? How much money are they going to get from insurance and from FEMA, and all of the different things. Palisades fire, making really good progress. We're now at 43% containment. And the Eaton fire, we're at 73% containment. So that's really good. And it looks like those are the only two fires that are burning right now. We do have a red flag warning in effect. What that means is when winds are predicted and they're predicted to be at a certain velocity, then we are put into a red flag warning, which means all of the if you live in that kind of an area, or a brush area, or the mountains, anywhere that can catch fire, it means you've got to kind of be careful. Also, it means, bringing in patio furniture and that kind of a thing. So we've been okay this week. It's been cool, which has been helpful. Yesterday, it was quite overcast, and there was quite a bit of humidity in the air, so that was helpful. Should be a very calm weekend, but by Tuesday, we have another wind event, so the winds are expected to come back. So hopefully we won't have any more fire growth or outbreaks next week. Yeah, so it's hard, because now you're hearing all the stories of the people and what they've lost, and how it's affecting them, and it's hard to watch, as you can well imagine. Okay, so here at my household this week, my washer started making a horrible noise. It sounded like there was a marble running around on the spin cycle. And so we called a repair person out, and then I told my husband, I said, okay, they're going to come on Wednesday. I'm taking Wednesday off work. We also need to decide what's the dollar amount that we're willing to spend to fix it. And he rattled off this number, and I'm like, why am I wasting my time waiting for a repair person? That's how much they're going to cost to step foot into the house. Like, why are we wasting time? So I have a brand new washer and dryer. Needed a new dryer too. The other one was starting to not dry thoroughly and giving me some trouble. So I've got a brand new set. It's different. Yeah, you get used to working with your appliance, and then you get a new appliance and you have to learn it all over again. And the manual is literally like 3 pieces of paper, and it's basically like, don't throw a garment with cooking oil in your wash, and don't, which I think is ridiculous, but I guess it can catch on fire. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, and that's it. That's all. Doesn't tell you how to start it, doesn't tell you how, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but all the things that used to come in the manual don't. No troubleshooting, nothing, because you can get that all online, I guess. I don't know. So I downloaded a wash cycle guide. My son doesn't even know. He's coming home today from vacation. He doesn't even know that we've got a new washer, unless my daughter told him. So we're all on that learning curve. And then that morning, I'm home waiting for the I knew that they were coming in the afternoon. I thought, great, I can go to work for a few hours in the morning and then come home for the rest of the day. Be fine. Well, then my daughter comes out of the shower. She's like, the shower's backing up. Her hair goes, down halfway past, the middle of her back. And she sheds a lot. I shed a lot. So I'm like, I can fix this. So I went in, I pulled off the drain cover, and I pull out the little thing that catches the hair, and I pull out some hair, and I'm like, yes, let's see if that works. And I turn on the water. Nope. So we called a plumber, and I called into work, and I said, I'm not coming in at all today because now I have to wait for a plumber, and I can't take a shower until the plumber comes. Plumber came in the middle of the afternoon. I actually did, because the water did drain, I actually did go in and showered. I shouldn't have done that, because then I wound up with standing water in the shower. And I would like get wet, turn off the water, lather up, rinse, turn off the water. So it's not like I had it running the whole time, but still I shouldn't have done that. But anyways, plumbers came and rotor-rootered snaked the drain, and we're there all of maybe 15 minutes, $135. So today I get up and I think I'm going to prune back my roses. You're supposed to do that in January. I'm going to prune them back before we get to February, because usually I'm doing it at the end of February. And I thought, today's a great day. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. I feel good. Let's go out and do it. So I go out, prune them back. Everything's fine. The dog is happy. He keeps dropping his ball. I throw it. He'll come back. I prune a little bit. He drops the ball. I mean, we're having a good time. So then it comes time for me to go ahead and hose off. I also feed my roses when I prune them back like that. So I gave them food, and I needed to hose it, like water it into the soil so that the dogs didn't get it. And I do that, and the hose is just dripping. It always drips. It's just dripping. And then I go to turn off the water when I'm all done, and the nozzle on the thing just keeps spinning. It doesn't turn off. I'm like, crap. So I called my husband, and I'm like, do you have an assistant? Can you come home? He's like, no, I don't have an assistant. Otherwise, I'd be home right now. I'm like, okay. Whoa. So our neighbor was going in to see him at his work today. So he sent him over, and the neighbor and his son came over and replaced my spigot that leads from the house to the outside, so that I could turn off the water and but not shut the water off to the whole house, so that we can take showers and we can wash clothes and do all the things that you do on a Saturday morning and afternoon. So it's been a week, but I think, knock on wood, we're all set and ready to go. This week I did get quite a bit of stitching done. Got a little bit of haul. almost a finish, but I chose to go to bed last night rather than pushing through. I could have probably stayed up until like 1 o'clock last night to finish my Friday focus, and I just thought, no, just let it go one more day. You really, it's winter time. There's horrible things going around that people are getting sick. Go to bed. So I did. But I did a new start. I kitted up Key to My Heart by Brenda Gervais, and I kitted, it's the egg, what is it called, from Teresa Kogut? Egg, it's the bunny, and she's collecting eggs off of a tree. I will put it down below. I kitted that one, and then I kitted another Teresa Kogut one, and I thought, I just have to stitch this, and I don't have very many Valentine stitches, and I don't know that I'll get it done by Valentine's Day, but I thought it's easy and it looks easy enough. Maybe I can. So I was looking through my fabrics, and I decided, well, let's go ahead and stitch this on pink, because I really like the way that looks. And this is 40 count Newcastle linen in the color Blush. And this is my start. So I'm using the called for flosses. I had the called for. And that's how far I got in one evening. So I would say maybe a quarter to a third of the V in Love is done. You can't really, I guess you can kind of see the pink, but I think it's going to be really, really sweet. And I'm going to just finish this in a pillow finish. So I've got a couple ideas kind of floating around in my head. We'll see what it looks like when it's all done, what kind of fabrics I have, and how I want to finish that. So, new start. Make sure I'm getting it in the right bag. I'm changing some of my things in my craft room right now, so it's a hot mess. And so I've got these bags all over the place. I just need to make sure that I'm putting my projects back in the right bag. I made the decision this week to go ahead. I have a Totally Tiffany scrap rack. It is a metal base that kind of is like, think of a heavy duty like book rack or book holder when you are cooking, you know, but it's bigger, and it has Velcro, heavy duty Velcro, industrial strength Velcro. What is it called? Hook and loop, or loop and hook, or something like that. You can't call it Velcro because that's an actual brand name, but it has that. And then it's got the binding. She calls them spinders. So it's the metal piece that goes in a binder, and on the backs of those it has the other part of the Velcro that sticks to what's on the base. And I've got that thing loaded up with all kinds of scrapbooking stuff. Well, I'm not scrapbooking very much, and the things that are in there are not things that I'm going to on a regular basis for card making. That stuff I've already put into drawers over here behind me. So I've decided, since I'm not doing a lot of scrapbooking right now, I found a box, and I'm going to take all of those pages out and put it in a box and put it somewhere where I can easily access it if I want to scrapbook. And then I'm going to have more counter space that I can use for either my sewing machine or more, be a little bit organized with some of my stitching and my finishes and the floss that needs to be put back into stash, that kind of a thing. Maybe I'll rearrange my stash a little bit. And then I'm going through my bookshelves. I have 3 bookshelves up here, and they've got a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be in here. So I kind of am going through those as well, and I'm going to be moving some stuff into the garage. It's a work in progress. The more you're in your space, the more you can really see, like, can I let that go? Do I need to keep that here? Is that something that I can keep in a different spot? Like the garage, until I need it. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Maybe I give myself an hour and a half, once or twice a week to work on it, but it is a work in progress. Once I get that done, I feel like a broken record, but I will do a new craft room video tour, and hopefully it won't be so shaky. I've mentioned before, I have one already filmed, but it's so shaky that when I went to go edit, it was making me nauseous, and I thought, I just can't do that to you people. Okay, the first one I've got in my bag is my Friday focus, and this is Red Bird Sampler. I'd love to get this finished and framed and up here in my room somewhere. Not sure where. I am stitching this one on 32 count Belfast linen. I do not know the color. It's kind of got an orangey hue to it. And here I am. So I finished this motif up here. I pulled out this branch area because I was way off, and so I just pulled it out last week, and I restitched it this week. I finished the red, and now I'm starting to fill in, and this will be another one of these. And then I just have an initial and 2 more flowers to do, and it'll be done. So it was very close to a finish. I think it'll be finished by on next Friday. And I see this one in a really pretty gold frame, I think. I'm so excited that we're moving along on it. I may decide to pull out this H and do my initials here instead. We'll see. I kind of had forgotten that, and I didn't realize it was an H when I was stitching it. And then when I was done, I'm like, oh, darn, I wanted to stitch an initial there. So we'll see what I come up with. But I like it. I think it's turning out really, really nicely. And for being one of the first projects that I've pulled from my stash of linen, I really do like the way this one's turning out. This one could go in my bedroom too. For those of you that are new, my Friday focus is I take one piece that is at least 50% done, and I work on that piece every Friday. Every time I stitch on a Friday, whether it be morning or afternoon or just the morning or just the afternoon, whatever time I have to stitch on Friday, I dedicate to that one piece consistently every single week, and that's how I get things across the finish line this last year. So I'm thinking, and I did that with smalls last year, so this year I'm doing it with smalls and samplers. And so I picked a sampler to work on for the first one of the year. So I'm glad that I did that. I pulled out my birthday stitch from 2022. I really would like to get this one across the finish line this year. It is Land That I Love. I have been spending quite a bit of time on the strawberries, not because it's difficult to stitch, but because it's split onto 4 pages. So you've got 2 pages, you know, for each half here and each half here, 2 separate. So 4 pages that way, but it's also split this way. So you've got a top and a bottom. So it's been tricky and slow going. And I did have to pull out some of the vining on my final strawberries a little bit and rework it. I'm stitching this on 40 count vintage country Mocha, Newcastle linen, all the called fors, real pretty. And here it is. So I am working in this area right here. Finish the strawberries, finish the vines. Now I've got to go back in and add the strawberry blossoms and the little blue berries, whatever they are, add those in, and then finish the seeds in the strawberries and the yellow flowers, or the strawberry blossoms, and then that band will be done. And then I can move on to do the other one that is like this and start working on the border up. So we are making progress. I want this done. I want it hanging in my living room by the end of the year. Ready to get it done. It was a little slow going because it really is a tiny, tight 40 count. But I do love it. But because it's such a large chart, and excuse me, the way that it's cut up in the chart, like the pages, it makes it a little tricky at that part. So that particular band has been kind of slow going. I did pull out Winter Quaker by Primrose Cottage. And I spent quite a bit of time on this. I had a lot of stitching time one day. I am stitching this on 36 count refined linen. I don't know if it's by Fortnight Fabrics or if the color is Fortnight. It's not very clear, but it's a beautiful blue, and I'm using the called for, which is Color and Cotton Battleship. And I moved this one along. So the last time I had picked this one up, I had finished the outside of this motif here, and I was off. And I had to rip it out. And so I finished that. I added these. I finished that one, and I started working in on the top border. So not quite half, but it definitely, I think, a third done. And I will finish this into a pillow. I wanted to make sure this year for 2025 that I had a way to incorporate and be intentional with stitching more of my sampler pieces. They tend to be a little bit bigger. Maybe I get bored a little quicker with them. So I picked a decision wheel app, and I threw a bunch of I threw a bunch of pieces on there that I wanted to focus on, that were samplers, regardless of where they are in completion. 1 page, 3 pages, 50%, 10%, it doesn't matter. It's just things that I would like to move along, if not finish this year. So I spun the wheel. It's funny. I spun the wheel, and my daughter and my husband were sitting there, and it landed on, I forget what it landed on, but it landed on a project, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to work on that one. So I spun it again, and they just started laughing. And I said, you don't have to do the one that it lands on. You can spin a different one. It's okay. Maybe that's what I did that day. But so my second spin landed on Flowers and Friends by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I am stitching this one on 40 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. And I am almost done with that house. So I did the dark gray on these windows here. I've added the window panes, and I worked on the dark part of the roof, and I started filling in all of the windows. So we are moving along. I did have to pull out because over here I was off. I messed up on my counting, so I did pull out a little bit here, and I was able to not rip the whole thing out, just rip out a section of it. What drew me to this was the color of the house. I thought it was a dark gray or a black, and then the color of the flowers, perfect fall, and of course the spiders and the spider webs and the birds. And then when I pulled the called for flosses, it's $9.39. Is that what it is? Oh no, $8.23. It's a navy blue. And I thought, ooh, even better, navy blue and oranges, opposites on the color wheel. Once I think I get the house done, I think it will move a lot quicker. I just struggle with houses. I think I get bored with them, and they're so big and so many stitches that it just isn't a good time in my mind. And last but not least, I put some time in on Cocoa Quaker. I am stitching this on the called for, which I believe is a 32 count mushroom. .32 count taupe. I think it's a Lugana. It's an even weave fabric, so that's good. This one should be a finish. If I work on it this week, it'll get done. And then I will make it a pillow finish. So I added all the white, and I did the holly leaves and the snowman. I got him almost ready to go. Finished the roof here. I just kind of got it moved along quite a bit. So I think one more sitting and this one should be done. And this one's in a project bag by Star 87 Crafts. I believe she has an Etsy. No, she has an Instagram page. If I can find it, I'll link it below. They're beautiful. Okay. Haul. Oh, before we do haul, one more thing. Marissa from M. Kissa Creations and I, she had mentioned Keeper of the Pins by Brenda Gervais, that she wanted to work on this. And I said, oh, I have that booklet. I've only done one. I want to do them all. I'll stitch it with you. So then we talked about it on our channels, and now we've got the Contented Needleworker Kim, and I think it's Cloudy Nook Stitches. I will list her, I'll list all of us in the description below. But we are doing a stitch along. The hashtag will be #keepersal. And we are starting this on the 21st because Marissa looked it up, and the 21st is like National Crafting Day or something. So that's the day we decided to start it. It's a go at your own pace, start and stop as you wish. We just thought it would be fun to stitch it together. Little fun fact about Marissa and I, we are related to each other through marriage. So she is my cousin's husband's niece-in-law. She's married to my cousin's husband's nephew. So we've talked off and on before, and then I found her on Flosstube. I'm like, hello, why did I not know this? I am stitching mine on 36 count vintage country Mocha linen, and I've already got one done. So I had already started this a while ago. So this one's done, and I started this one, and I would like these to be pillows. I have a couple of drawers from my grandmother's home, and I don't know if they're from her sewing chest or if they're sewing table, or if it was from her mother's sewing table, but I was thinking I would bring one of those out here and repurpose it out here and put these pillows in it. I had it hanging on the wall for a really long time with not flowers, like silk plants, and then it just got to the point where it kept falling off, or maybe an animal was getting into, I don't know. I took it off the wall, but out here I think it would be perfect, and I think it would be really cute to have it and then have these little pillows stuck into it. So that is my thought on that whole thing. I have another drawer, and I don't know where it is. I'm hoping my husband didn't toss it. That one's a little bit bigger. I think it's a little longer, and that one would be nice to do something fun like this as well. So we're going to start this on Tuesday the 21st. Of course, you can start earlier. Marissa has. I may work on it this weekend. I have Monday off because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I'm debating if I want to work on, I feel like I got so much accomplished on New Year's Eve by just working on one piece all day long. I worked on Hometown. It's a sal for the tier 4 level of Teresa Kogut's Patreon group, and I'm way behind on that, so I spent the day stitching on that, and I was really pleased with my progress. So I may do one more day like that, or maybe I will work on this or one of the other ones, in the morning, and in the afternoon and evening spend on Hometown. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. If I'm really smart, I would come out here and get this room into shape, but then that's not moving projects along, is it? So, okay, a little bit of haul. I found something. I was perusing Amazon because I showed these last time. I was watching Stitching with the Housewives, and I went ahead and I bought the Be Mine roundabout, and I bought the Be Mine banner, and then I went to Hobby Lobby last week and I bought these hearts to finish them similarly to that. But you can't fit them on here, so she put it on the back. So we'll see how that all works out. And then I also picked up, oh, I think there's one more roundabout. We Belong Together or something. I don't know. It's not here at my fingertips right now. But particularly with the roundabouts, I thought, do they have any conversation heart charms? The answer is yes. Yes, they do. There's so many. So we have a Hug Me, a Miss You, XO, XO, a Be Mine, a Kiss Me, there's an orange one down here, light pink is Love. I mean, just like conversation hearts. So if you have small children, do not leave these out. They have a little eye in them, but you still don't want to. They have a darker, they have a darker pink. Sweetheart. Excuse me. And I thought, oh, how adorable would that be attached to some Valentine stitches. Love them. Very reasonably priced. You get 80 pieces. I went ahead and I linked these in my Amazon storefront. So I now have an Amazon storefront, and in the Amazon storefront I have put things in categories. I have like cross stitch charts and books, cross stitch finishing, cross stitch supplies, pet things, paper storage, craft room storage, household things that I buy that I take to the office, that kind of, it's all in there. If you click on the link in the description box below, it takes you to my store, and if you purchase anything, then I get a small commission, and that's paid from Amazon, not you. It does not it doesn't increase the cost of the goods for you. It does not you're not paying extra in any way. It strictly comes it's like I'm advertising for them, and it's nominal. It's not very much. But I know a lot of times people are asking, you know, what do you do and what do you use? And I've finally was able to get a storefront up. So like my 2025 charms, they're in there. These are in there. The hoops that I like are in there. That kind of a thing. So make sure that you check the description box, because the link to my Amazon shop will be in the description box for sure. In the community tab on my YouTube channel page, if you click on my my picture or my image for the video, I think it takes you to my channel. In the community section, I have links, not the most current ones, but I do have a few links of things that I've talked about before listed in there. All of those things, I think, pretty much are in my shop as well. So please feel free to utilize that. It's I know that when I'm watching people on YouTube or Flosstube and they talk about something, it's nice to have a source. I may not buy from that source. I may look at the source and then get my information and kind of shop around. But it's nice to at least have the information. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to provide you with the information. Any commissions that I make off of any of this, my goal is to invest it back in the channel, invest it into you guys. So just know that. And it's there for you. If for some reason you're not seeing something, either in the description box, the community tab, or in my Amazon shop, please reach out. My email should be in the description box below. I don't mind receiving emails. Especially if you have a question, you need help sorting something out, I'm happy to help. Okay, so just know that. Also, I try to list my projects, and I try to list the fabric that I'm using and the threads that I'm using. And if I'm stitching 1/2 or 2/2 or 1/1, I try to list that all in the description below for each of the projects that I present on my video. Do I miss one once in a while? Yes. If I have too many, I may not do that because it's a lot of work to go back. I don't open up each bag each time. I go back and try to find it and just copy and paste. It'd probably be quicker if I reached into my bag, quite frankly. But especially if I've done a color trends, picked different colors, I'd like to find that so I don't have to think about it. I just copy paste, throw it in there. So most of the time, anything I talk about in the videos will be listed and or linked in the description box below. I don't link cross stitch charts because you can get them from so many different places, and we all have our favorite shops that we like to go to, and so get it from whomever you'd like to. That's totally fine. Okay, so Patreon, Teresa Kogut, this is her Patreon ornament for January 2025, and she is doing this as a birthday start. I don't know if I will be able to kit it up. There are quite a few colors, but I do love it. Another kind of little goal that's been in my head, I have a lot of these smaller pieces from being in her Patreon group. I would really like to stitch a few of them up and just get them up and out. Stitch them up, get it done, move on. Hello from Liz Matthews dropped her January stitch. I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to stitch it up 5 days ago. It is, does it have a, oh, it's called Sweetheart. 182 stitches wide, 141 stitches high, 8,097 cross stitches altogether. If you stitch this on a 28 count, a 14 or 28 count, you're looking at the finished size being 13 inches by 10. If you stitch it on 40, you're looking at it being 9 by 7. I don't even know what color scheme to choose. I was thinking everything would be one color, but the birds might be different. And then I saw this one down here on one of her posts in her Patreon group, and this is like black or black, I think, but it's on a very pale gray background, and that's beautiful too. I love it. Okay, Look at this bag. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I went ahead. I was enabled by Nicole Spore. And I went ahead and I went to a new to me fabric dyer, and her shop name is Count on Linens. And here's her information. I will try my best to remember to link her below. Put that in here. I put it in the basket. I might have a shot. And look at how beautifully it came packaged. I bought 3 colors. I know 2 of them look like they're the same, but they're not. Okay. This one is Bryce Beauty, 40 count linen. She lives in Utah, so these are very reminiscent of like a Utah landscape. This one in particular, Bryce Canyon. This one is Sagebrush, 32 count linen sagebrush, beautiful sagey green. Every piece is serged. It's really nice. And then this last one, it's a little darker and a little pinker, and it's Zion Sunset. Has a little gray in it. Maybe that's a blue. A little bit of modeling. I'm not sure what I'm going to stitch on these. I am considering stitching one of these on one of, maybe on this one or the other one. Very pretty. I'm very happy with those purchases. And I think that's it. This week coming up, off on Monday, so I should get a lot of something done, stitching done. Off on Monday, working to get camp ready to be launched. We're opening up registration for our first camp a week from Tuesday. So I need to get that all up and running and do the final touches on that, do my final testing. Nothing's planned for the evenings, so I should be good to go. I should be able to get a couple of things maybe across the finish line this week. We'll see. If you've made it to the end, thank you very much. Take a moment, please, and if you liked what you saw, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, share the video, comment on the video, like the video. I do read the comments. I do try to respond to the comments each week, at least with the little heart like on the comment, if not actually comment back. I do enjoy it. It's great fun. The stories this week that were shared were phenomenal. So thank you for that. And keep them coming. I'm enjoying it so much. I think that is it. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye.